Leo bought a used car. So let me create a bar model here. Here's the price. Right now, you're responsible for 100%, right? Because you didn't get any discount yet. But apparently you did, because you want to find the price of the car, the amount that you're paying for, and the amount that you're paying for is 0.88, which is in decimal format. Now, if you change that to percent, it's 88%. So this is what you're now going to be paying for. So what happened to the price? Well, there was a decrease, right? And how much did it take away? 12%. And that explains why you're multiplying by 0.88. Remember that you have to change the decimal, the percent to a decimal, and that's why it's written this way, right? So the reason why this happened is because you had a 12% decrease. So the expression, right, the reason for that is that the population of the city is increased by 7.5%. So again, here is, right, the population right now is this much. But if you've increased by 7.5%, it means you're going to have to add up to 7.5%, taking you to 107.5%. So whatever the population is, if you want to find what's the population increase, you would multiply the population times the increase, 1.075, and that will give you the total, which was the previous population plus the 7% increase. So when you multiply those two numbers, you're going to get the whole total. Okay, so that would be this one. 3, Sammy drew a rectangle that was white, so it helps if you draw. Here's a rectangle. And the width is W. The expression 2 times 2W plus 2W represents the perimeter of the rectangle that Sammy drew. Which statement relates the perimeter to the width of the rectangle? The perimeter is 6 inches more than the width. The perimeter is 6 times the width. So now, if that's W, this is W. And they're saying, so that explains this part right here, twice the width, right? This W plus times this W plus this W, or 2 times the width, explains why they're using this. Now, the other one, they're multiplying 2 times 2W, which means this is 2W, and this is 2W, right? Because you're multiplying by 2. So the perimeter is 2 inches more than the width. The perimeter is actually, so if you add them up, you get W plus W. So if you do the perimeter, right, you would get plus W, which is equal to 6 times W. So the perimeter is 6 times whatever the width is. Here we go. Sally has a discount, 5%. C represents which represents the grocery bill. So again, careful. Here's her grocery bill. She is, right, they're using C. So right now you have to pay for this much. She has a 5% discount. That means they take 5% off, and you're left with 95%. So if they're asking you how much you're going to be paying, well, the amount you're going to be paying is this, right, which is 95% of whatever C was. So as an expression, we would write 0.95 times C. Right, so if you multiply these two, you're going to get the price of whatever you're paying without the discount. Now, don't confuse that, because if they ask you what is the discount, then you would multiply this part over here. The discount was 5% times C, or 0.05 times C. So 2 different questions here. This one is asking you for the discounted. So your discounted bill. How much are you paying after the discount? This one is asking you simply what is the discount. All right, so don't confuse those two. Okay, so in this case, we got that, and this is the one that I want you to be confused with. Okay. 5. The original selling price of a share of a stock was $D, so something was priced at $D. The selling price for the same share of the right? Selling price for a share of the same stock at a later date was represented by this expression 1.15 times 0.595D, which description could help explain what happened to the price. So let's look at this one. If it's more than 1, that means it's an increase, right? So what was the increase? 0.15 or 15%. And then if it's less than 1, obviously it's a discount. And how much was a discount? Well, obviously if it's 0.95, the discount was 5%, right? So decrease. So the price, so what does it say? The price decreased by 5%? No. The price, did they write it in order? So the price decreased by 5% and then increased by 0.15? No. The price decreased by 95% and then increased by 0.15%? No. The price decreased by 5% and then increased by 15%. The actual order, well, I mean, we're multiplying, so it doesn't matter the order here, right? Because it's commutative. But the correct answer, the only one that makes sense, is there was a decrease of 5% and then an increase of 15%. But the increase happened first if they're doing it in order. Okay. This one doesn't make sense. It's not a decrease of 95%, and obviously that makes it incorrect. So the correct answer is C. 6. She bought notebooks that cost 75 cents each. We don't know how many, so 0.75 times however many notebooks. And then she bought pens that cost 55 cents each. So 55 times however many pens. A sales tax of $6.25 will be added to the total cost. Which expression represents the total amount? So when you go shopping, right, you find, so you use, here's going to be your cost of your notebooks. Right, to find out how much you're going to pay. You're going to do that. This one you're going to use to calculate the cost of the pencils. Then you add these two, right? However, your total here, or the total notebooks plus the total of your pencils, you add them, and then you apply tax to the total. So what was the tax? 6.25. And if you want to find out what is the total, you're going to multiply that by 1.0625. So is there any expression that looks like that? Well, not A, not B, because that doesn't make any sense. They're adding the notebooks and the pencils, and then they're adding the notebooks and the pencils times the tax. That makes no sense. Here, they're multiplying the notebooks times the tax plus the pencils, but they forgot the P. Instead of multiplying by P, they multiplied by N, so that makes it incorrect. And hang on a second. The one that would make sense is this one. Well, they did this, so if you do this tree properly, right? Think about it. You're gonna get 0.75 N times 1.0625 and then plus 0.55 P or N P times 1.0625. So that looks like this one, but they should have written a P here because it's 0.55 times P, the number of pencils. Do we have any? Let me just confirm this one. That one doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go, well, the problem here is that this should be a P and the other ones have P written on it. So here they add the total cost of the notebooks to the total cost of the pens, and then they multiply, they add that to, okay, so I take that back. This one is correct. Here, that would give you the total cost of notebooks and pens. And this gives you just a tax portion. Right, so they're finding out what the 6.25% of the total cost is. So here is the tax portion only of the total. Right, so basically they're doing this. So here is the pens and the notebooks. So if you got your bill, you have this value over here. Let's call it X, right? And then they're calculating the tax, 0.65, 0.0625 of X, which gives you just a tax portion, and then they're adding the two. So I take the back. The correct answer is B. Okay. I don't know why they would do it that way, but it's B. 7, the amount of money on the bank increased by 21.5% if the amount of money at the beginning of the year was N, which expression represents the total, the amount of money in the bank after the increase. So again, think about your bar chart, right? Your bar model. Right now you have N dollars. That represents 100% of your account. If after a year it increased by 21.5%, he's going to take it to 125%. So to find out how much this whole thing is, you're just going to multiply N times, let's change that to the decimal version, 1.215. Anything that looks like that? None. What in the heck? Well, there is this one. And again, what does this represent? So they did it differently. Here, N is the amount of money that you have. And then 0.215N is the increase. So, and they're adding those two. So they're adding the amount of money that you have, and then they're adding the increase, and you get the total. So they're doing it in two parts instead of doing it in one straight shot. Okay, so I take it back. I mean, we in class were doing this. They're not. They're doing it in part. They're finding out what this is first, right? And they're adding that little part to the amount of money that you had previously. An item with an original price of P dollars is on sale at 25%, which expression is not equivalent to the price of the item with discount. So if you buy something and you get a discount 25% and you want to find your total, that means you're responsible for 75%. So that would be the expression you use to find the total. So which one is not? So this one is okay. So this one here, what is this trying to find out? This one is actually trying to find out what, so if you did that, that would give you how much the discount was, how much was taken away. All right, so that's the only one that doesn't give you the one, the total of the price with a discount. This one is, it does, right? You're here, you're multiplying, you're finding the total of your item, and then you're subtracting that by the discount, which, as you can tell, gives you this. This one is the same version as A, but if you do the distributive property, it's the same thing. It will still give you P times 0.75. And C, so all A, B, and C are equivalent expressions. They're just written in a different way. 9, the measure of one side of a square is S plus 3, so you have a square. And this is S plus 3, which means this is S plus 3, and this. And this. Which pair of expressions represent the perimeter of the square? Well, if you multiply, the perimeter would be what? Adding all them up, and you would get 4s, and 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 12. So, this works. No, that doesn't work. Sorry, take that back. This works, which is 4. So another way of doing that would be multiplying 4 times the side, right? 4 times s plus 3, which is s plus 3, s plus 3, plus s plus 3, plus s plus 3. So D is the only one that's correct. No calculators. You don't need to calculate that. 10. At a store, a hat is X dollars. During the sale, the price is discounted by 20%. The expression 0.8 describes the discounted price, okay? Which expression also describes the discounted price of the hat. So, if you had something that costs X dollars, right, and they give you a 20% discount, that goes away, you're now responsible for 80%. So if I ask you, what are you paying right now, you would go, well, that's easy. 0.8 times x. That gives you the price after the discount. So which of these four also gives you 0.8x? Does this? No. X minus 20. So if you subtract x minus 20, do you get 0.8x? No. Wait. Actually, you can't even subtract them to begin with because they're not like terms. So that's gone. X minus 0.2. Again, not like terms. You can't subtract. Now, this one, does it give you 0.8? Well, x has an invisible number there. So you have 1x minus 0.2x. Right? That says $1 minus 20 cents. Does that give you this? Yes. So this is the correct answer. 11. Price of an item at a store is P dollars. The item is on sale for 20% off. Some of the expressions below represent the price, the sale price in dollars of the item. Which two expressions represent? So which two? So if you, again, if you buy something for P dollars and it's on sale for 20%, if you take 20% off, you're responsible for 80. So you would multiply P times 0.8. So, or better yet, 0.8P. So which of these gives you 0.8P? A and E. A, well, A is wrong. B is okay. C, if you subtract, you can't subtract these two because they're not like terms. So there, that's gone. D, P minus 0.2. Remember, there's a 1 here. If you subtract 1P minus 0.2P, do you get 0.8? Yes, you do. And the last one, 1P minus 0.8. Do you get this one? No, you get 0.2. So that's gone. So the only one that's true is B and D. Done. All right, Cindy has 4 more than 5 times as many cousins as Kate. There we go. Which of these represents that one? So there you go. 5K plus 4. That was easy. And as a painter, she charges $130 for the paint supplies and $25 for each hour. What expressions represent the total she charges? Well, she's going to charge $130 plus $25 an hour. There is your expression. And it looks like this one. Okay. Diane is 3 years older, so 3 years older. So let's do that statement. 3 years older than twice her sister's age. So, Samantha's age represents S, which expression represents Diana's age. So, 3 years older, so it's the operation is addition. So anything that doesn't have an addition is garbage. 2s plus 3, it's exactly the same thing as 3 plus 2x. This one, no. This one's a no. Janine's dogs weigh 3 pounds, less than twice the weight of Wanda's dog. So literally translated in order. 3 is 3, less than is subtraction, twice is 2 times, and dog D. But less than is a turnaround, so that actually becomes 2D minus 3. And do we have that? Yeah, right here. Simplify the following expressions. Hopefully you don't forget that. How to do that. It's been a while. Like terms. Do we have like terms? Yeah. This is an x and y, and this is an x and y. Both have the same variables to the same power. So they're both positive, so I get 18xy. And the 15x I can't combine because it only has an x. So that's my final answer. Simplify the following expressions. 3x plus 9x. Give me a break. Guys, we're adding, right? So we just combine the coefficients, right? So 3 plus 9 is 12x. If that was 3x times 9x, then we multiply the coefficients, we get 27, and then we multiply the variables, and that would be x squared, right? But we're not, we're adding, so careful. 6 less than subtraction, half of a number. Half of a number, I don't know. Less than is a turnaround word, so that actually becomes half x minus 6. And there we are. 8. This month, Drew worked 6 hours. Okay, so again, 6 hours less than, again, subtraction, twice the number of hours h. Watch expression, again, turnaround word, it becomes 2h minus 6. And here we go. 9, the expression below represents total cost in dollars, including shipping for a certain number of CDs, M. So 8M plus 5, based on the expression above, what is the cost of 4 music CDs? Well, really, plug in 4, so 8 times 4 plus 5, and we should get 37. What verbal expression is the same? So this would be, let's see, it's a subtraction, right? So 8 times a number minus 3, no. 3 times a number minus 8, no. 3 minus 8 times a number, no. 8 minus 3 times a number, there we go. These are not turnaround words. Okay, the minus by itself is not a turnaround one, so this is straight up 8 minus 3 times a number. 11, which best is represented by expression 4h plus 2. Kara spends $4 babysitting and 2 hours traveling. No, it's 4 with something, 4 times something, right? So you're looking for something that says 4 times something and then plus the 2. So that's not it. 4 hours babysitting and receives $2 in expenses. Nope. $4 for babysitting and spends 2 hours traveling. No. $4 for every hour babysitting. That looks good. Plus, there we go, 2 hours. $2 for travel costs. Combine like terms again. This is an AB and this is an AB. Actually, they're all AB, so they're all like terms. When you're combining, right, you look at the coefficients, the 12, the 8, and the 5. Thankfully, they're all positive, so we're just adding. So it's 12 and 8 is 20, plus 3 is 25. 25 AB. Okay, 2x, 2c minus 5, so it's 2 times something minus 5. So you gotta look for something that says 2 times whatever minus 5. Alicia walked 2 miles fewer than 5 times the number. Is 5 times the number? No, the 5 is all by itself. So 5 times the number, that tells you that's gone. Alicia walked 5 miles fewer than, that's good. Fewer than 2 times the number of miles c. Fewer than is a turnaround word. So eventually the 5, so if you translate b as it is, you get 5 minus 2 times c, but because it's fewer than, it actually becomes 2c minus 5. The correct one is b. C, Alicia walked 2 more than, and right, the moment you read this, more than, you know that that's gone. And D says Alicia walked 5 more than, and again, has the word more than, which implies addition, right, so that's garbage right there. So the only one that truly makes sense is B. Okay? I think we're done.